Hello and welcome to section 2.4. In your book, this is a pretty small section because it really focuses just on the types of formal charges you can have with carbon. So if we draw just methane, oh, sorry about that, hydrogen, there we go, just methane, you can see here that in methane, we have a tetrahedral carbon. Okay, we remember that from general chemistry. There we go. And not only do we have a tetrahedral carbon, but we also have a formally neutral carbon, right? Because it has um, 4 valence electrons and 4 bonding electrons with no non-bond, or sorry, with 8 non-bonding or 8 bonding electrons and no non-bonding electrons. So it has a formal charge of 0. And we denote that sometimes with a little 0 there on the atom. But carbon can also have, for instance, let's have, there we are. This is also a tetrahedral carbon. So let's move this word over. Both of these are tetrahedral, and they're both tetrahedral, but the formal charge of carbon is -1 because it has 3 or 6 bonding electrons and 2 non-bonding electrons. Right. So the other type of formal charge that you might find on a carbon is not -1, but it is +1. And that is shown, let's move this. That is shown here with a little plus on it. I'll get this other guy -1. There we go. Um, and this carbon, instead of being tetrahedral, is now trigonal planar. And the plus charge lies in an sp2 orbital instead of the sp3 that the lone pair was in before. Now, what you should note is that the highest energy, the least stable carbon here, is the carbon with the lone pair, the negatively charged carbon. The next most high energy, so the second to least stable is the carbocation, the one with the positive charge, and the most stable carbon is the one with 4 bonds, and it has a charge of 0. Every time you can, you should aim to draw a carbon with 4 bonds because that's how carbon, that is the preferred way for carbon to be, and it will have the lowest energy if you can do that. And that is basically what you need to know from section 2.4. Carbon needs 4 bonds, it wants 4 bonds, and if you can, draw a carbon with 4 bonds. If you can't draw a carbon with 4 bonds, the next most stable way to draw it is with a positive charge. It can have a negative charge, but those are higher energy. This has been section 2.4.